Michael sat in his large, quiet house, gazing out of the window at the falling snow. Christmas Eve had always been a special time for him and his late wife, Laura. But since her death, the holidays had become just another reminder of the emptiness that settled in his heart. He wasn't sure how to fill that space. His business was thriving, but everything else felt like a blur. The laughter of Christmas, the joy of the season, felt far away. He had learned to shut himself off from the world, especially during the holidays. So, when his assistant, Emily, called him and asked if he would consider volunteering at a local shelter, he was quick to decline. "I'm not in the right place for that," he had said. But Emily, persistent as ever, didn't let it go. "Michael, you know your wife would have wanted you to do this. Just think about it. It could be good for you." He had hung up the phone, already deciding it wasn't something he wanted to do. Yet, something lingered in his mind, the memory of Laura's passion for helping others. Laura had always volunteered during Christmas, bringing joy to the less fortunate, sharing her warmth with everyone she met. After some time, Michael found himself unable to ignore the tug in his heart. Maybe it would be worth going, just to get Emily off his back. So, reluctantly, he decided to go. The shelter was busy, filled with people coming in from the cold. The scent of hot cocoa and Christmas cookies filled the air, but Michael couldn't shake his unease. He stood in the corner, unsure of what to do, when a soft voice interrupted his thoughts. "You look like you could use some company," said a woman with silver hair and a warm smile. She was holding a basket of cookies, offering them to the volunteers. "I'm fine, thank you," Michael replied, trying to keep his distance. He wasn't here for friendship, he was just fulfilling a duty. But the woman, Grace, didn't leave him alone. She struck up a conversation, talking about how she had spent Christmases with her late husband and how she still found joy in the season despite her loss. "It's a season of love, you know," she said gently, "a time to remember that love never truly leaves us." Michael didn't know how to respond. He had spent so many years keeping his feelings buried deep inside. How could he open his heart to love again? How could he embrace the holiday when it felt like it was built on the weight of all his grief? Yet, as Grace spoke, something began to stir in him. She wasn't bitter or angry about her loss, she was grateful for the love she had known. She spoke of Christmas as a time of renewal, of giving love to others. "Sometimes, the best way to heal is to share love," she said, her voice full of peace. "When we give love, we receive it in return." Michael didn't understand it at first. He couldn't see how the pain of his loss could ever be replaced by something as simple as love. But as the evening wore on, he found himself drawn into the shelter's warmth. He saw the people who had little to give, but who gave so much, the homeless man who shared his blanket with another, the young mother who smiled at her children even though she had no presents to offer them, the elderly man who lit up when someone took the time to listen. And then, as the night drew to a close, something changed inside Michael. It wasn't immediate or dramatic, but he felt the stirrings of something deep within, a realization that love wasn't just about receiving, it was about giving. His wife had spent her life giving love, and now it was his turn to do the same. Later, as Michael walked out of the shelter, the snow falling gently around him, he looked up at the night sky. For the first time in years, he felt a flicker of hope. He realized that the true meaning of Christmas was not found in the gifts under the tree or the perfect holiday meal. It was in the love we give to one another, the love that never truly fades, even when life changes. Michael smiled to himself, a small, genuine smile. He didn't have all the answers, but he now knew that the love his wife had shared with him, the love of Christ, was still there. And it was waiting for him to embrace it, to share it, to keep it alive. As he walked back home, Michael made a promise to himself, this Christmas, he would open his heart to love again, and in doing so, he would experience the gift of love that Christ brought to the world all those years ago. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to like and subscribe.